Bruh, somebody tell me that this headline is fake. It has to be fake. Okay, because Laurel Hubbard, who was making history because she was the first trans athlete to be picked to participate in the Olympics. The first one to be picked. So brave and so stunning, making history. And Laurel was competing in weightlifting, right? Weightlifting. And everybody said that Laurel is going to come in here and blow out the competition because there are biological advantages to being a man, right? Even if you transition, okay, you still maintain some advantages like bone structure, right? Muscle density, hand size, leverages, things of that nature. Okay, even if you start taking testosterone and stuff like that, there's just certain biological advantages that are just still there. So everybody was like, Laurel is gonna blow out the competition, right? I thought the same thing. I was like, Laurel's gonna at least get a medal, right? But Laurel here apparently not only failed to get a medal, right? But Laurel couldn't even complete one of his/her lifts, okay? Couldn't complete one. Could not complete one. So I got some serious questions about this, guys, and I'm gonna take a dive into some of the numbers here and let you guys know what I think, because I think that Laurel may or may not have threw the competition on purpose. That's just me. So let's read a little bit more here. New Zealand weightlifter Laurel Hubbard made history on Monday as the first transgender athlete to compete at the Olympics, but failed at her attempt to make the medal stand. Hubbard failed to register a lift in the snatch in the 87 kilogram category by failing to record a lift. She couldn't move onto the clean and jerk and could not compete for a medal. Hubbard transitioned 8 years ago at the age of 35. Hubbard was 43 entering Olympic competition. The International Olympic Committee previously said Hubbard has met all the requirements for trans athletes in fair competition. Her qualifications for the New Zealand team led to a debate over whether it was fair for her to compete in the women's category. Nonetheless, Hubbard participated at the Tokyo Games without any issue. Dr. Richard Budgett, the ICO's medical and science director, backed Hubbard's right to compete in the games last week while acknowledging the issue over Hubbard competing was a large, difficult, and complex. Okay, so what I really want to talk about is the numbers, okay? Because this is the numbers from Tokyo, right? As you can see here, she was competing in the 87 kilogram category. Her first lift was 120, and then 125, 125. Failed at all three. Now, I posted pictures of it. I'm not going to play the video because of copyright stuff. I don't even want to deal with it. So I'm just going to post pictures of the lift, okay, so you guys get an idea, okay? But from what I was watching, it looked like 120 in the snatch. It looked doable, okay? It looked doable. And for whatever reason, Laurel decided to continue to go up, right, for the next lift rather than just completing the 120. Now, if you look at history here, okay, Laurel has completed 120, 125, and 131 before in the past. Okay, she's done 120 in 2019, 2017, 2018, again, 2019 again, 2017. So this is a lift that Laurel should be able to do. Now, I will say in 2019 in Australia, Laurel failed 110. Okay, so, again, I'm not an expert in snatching, right? Most of the lifting that I do, I'm not doing that type of Olympic lifting, okay? We talk about bench, squat, and deadlift. But in my opinion, I think that most of the time, these lifters, the first lift, they're going to do something that they know they can do, right? They're going to start with something that they know they're going to be able to lift. That way they can just get on the scoreboard. Like I said, Laurel has completed this lift before in the past, okay? And has done it multiple times. So Laurel failing to do this lift at the Olympics is pretty sketchy, right? It's pretty sketchy in my opinion. So let's look here at the overall rankings here. So as you can see, Laurel couldn't complete any of hers. And then you have 1, 2, and 3 So if Laurel actually had completed the 125 lift, Laurel would have been competitive, possibly competitive, for second or third place. Now, Li Wenyin just blew everybody out of the water, right? I don't think anybody was beating Li win-win, right? I don't think anybody was beating Li win-win. Win-win was there to win, okay? But Emily Campbell and Sarah Rhodes, Laurel Hubbard, if he would have completed that lift, definitely would have been competitive. And Laurel is the only person out of all the women that competed in this category that did not complete a lift. So, in my opinion, guys, I think this is sketchy. And the reason why I think it's sketchy, guys, is not only just because of the numbers, but also if you think about it, right? Everybody said going in that, Laurel was going to blow out the competition, right? And if Laurel goes in and blows out the competition, everybody's going to say, oh, it's unfair for trans athletes to compete in the Olympics, right? They're going to prove everybody right. And I still think that it is, right? Regardless of the fact Laurel didn't actually complete the lifts, okay? Because Laurel at that point could just be a weak man and a weak woman too, right? That could also be a possibility, okay? Put it this way, at least when it comes to the Olympic level, right? When it comes to the Olympic level. But I think that Laurel not completing any of his or her lifts, I think could have been done on purpose to try to say, see, look, being a trans athlete doesn't give you a significant advantage. Laurel couldn't even complete any of his or her lifts. Couldn't complete his or her lifts. So therefore, it's not an advantage. See, we should allow more trans athletes to compete, and that is totally, totally fair. I actually think that is plausible. I really do. Just looking at her history of the lifts that he/her has competed, I just think that Laurel would not be able to complete a 120 lift at the Olympics, considering how Laurel has done this multiple times in the past. But despite the fact that, the first trans athlete that has been picked to go to Olympics did not actually get a medal, there are other trans athletes there, and there is one that will receive a medal, as Canada has a trans athlete on their women's soccer team, and this trans athlete's name is Quinn. Now, I couldn't find Quinn's last name, so I'm just going to call him/her Quinn. And Quinn will receive a gold or silver medal after beating the U.S. Soccer team, right? Making Megan Rapinoe boohoo and cry and go home, right? Well, not go home, but compete for bronze, which basically, it's just like losing, okay? So there will be a trans athlete that will get a medal at the Olympics. So like I said, guys, in regards to the conversation about whether or not this proves trans athletes don't have an advantage, I don't necessarily think so at all. In fact, I actually think that Laurel Hubbard, I think that the fact that the lifts that she attempted, if she would have actually got them, would have made her very competitive for the medal. Really, in my opinion, actually supports the argument, okay? Because she did attempt 120, right? You're not starting off with a lift that you can't lift, okay? Now, the reasons for why she couldn't get it in this competition, who knows? Again, you can miss a lift for all types of reasons, right? Like, you might not necessarily be on command, from the judges and stuff like that. There's all types of reasons why you can miss a lift, okay? I still feel like it's sketchy that she missed a lift. I think that it probably was done on purpose. I think this was something that could be done to say, well, they don't have an advantage, therefore, you guys shouldn't be upset when we allow more trans athletes to compete. I think that that's ultimately what's going on here. And I really think the fact that, people are going to complain if she medaled, right? If she actually got a medal, people are going to complain. But I think people are now also going to complain about the fact that, well, damn, if you're going to show up and take a spot from biological women, you might as well at least complete a lift, right? Complete a lift. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.